Welcome everybody, this is Alan with Daily Armor of God. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. This is reading the Old Testament in 88 days. We're on day 77. Today we'll be reading Jeremiah 26 through 35. Let's go ahead and get started in Jeremiah 26, verse 1. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, came this word from Yahweh, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, Stand in the court of Yahweh's house, and speak unto all the cities of Judah, which come to worship in Yahweh's house, all the words that I command thee to speak unto them, diminish not a word. If so be they will hearken and turn every man from his evil way, that I may repent me of the evil which I purpose to do unto them because of the evil of their doings. Thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, If ye will not hearken to me, to walk in my law which I have set before you, to hearken to the words of my servants the prophets, whom I sent unto you, both rising up early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened. And I will make this house like Shiloh, and will make this city a curse to all the nations of the earth. So the priests and the prophets and all the people heard Jeremiah speaking these words in the house of Yahweh. Now it came to pass, when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking all that Yahweh had commanded him to speak unto all the people, that the priests and the prophets and all the people took him, saying, Thou shalt surely die. Why hast thou prophesied in the name of Yahweh, saying, This house shall be like Shiloh, and this city shall be desolate without an inhabitant? And all the people were gathered against Jeremiah, the house of Yahweh. When the princes of Judah heard these things, then they came up from the king's house unto the house of Yahweh, and sat down in the entry of the new gate of the house. Then spake the priests and the prophets unto the princes and all the people, saying, This man is worthy to die, for he hath prophesied against this city, as ye have heard with your ears. Then spake Jeremiah unto all the princes and to all the people, saying, Yahweh sent me to prophesy against this house and against this city all the words that ye have heard. Wherefore now amend your ways and your doings, and obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, and Yahweh will repent him of the evil that he hath pronounced against you. As for me, behold, I am in your hand. Do with me as seemeth good and meet unto you. But know ye for certain that if ye put me to death, ye shall surely bring innocent blood upon yourselves, and upon this city, and upon the inhabitants thereof. For of a truth Yahweh hath sent me unto you to speak all these words in your ears. Then said the princes and all the people unto the priests and to the prophets, This man is not worthy to die, for he hath spoken to us in the name of Yahweh our Elohim. Then rose up certain the elders of the land, and spake to all the assembly of the people, saying, Micah the Morashite prophesied in the days of Hezekiah king of Judah, and spake to all the people of Judah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Zion shall be plowed like a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, the mountain of the house as high places for the forest. Did Hezekiah king of Judah and all Judah put him at all to death? Did he not fear Yahweh and besought Yahweh, and Yahweh repented him of the evil which he had pronounced against them? Thus might we procure great evils against our souls. There was also a man that prophesied in the name of Yahweh, Arijah, the son of Shemaiah, of Kirjath-jearim, who pronounced against this city and against this land according to all the words of Jeremiah. And when Jehoiakim the king, with all his mighty men and all the princes, heard his words, the king sought to put him to death. But when Arijah heard it, he was afraid, and fled, and went to Egypt. Jehoiakim the king sent men to Egypt, namely Elnathan the son of Achbor, and certain men with him into Egypt. They fetched forth Arijah out of Egypt, and brought him unto Jehoiakim, who slew him with the sword, and cast his dead body into the graves of the common people. Nevertheless, the hand of Ahikam the son of Shaphan was with Jeremiah, that they should not give him to the hand of the people to put him to death. Jeremiah 27. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah king of Judah, came this word unto Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, Thus saith Yahweh to me, Make thee bonds and yokes, and put them upon thy neck, and send them to the king of Edom, and to the king of Moab, and to the king of the Ammonites, and to the king of Tyrus, and to the king of Zidon, by the hand of the messengers which come to Jerusalem unto Zedekiah king of Judah, and command them to say unto their masters, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto your masters, I have made the earth, the man, and the beast that are upon the ground, but my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me. Now have I given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him. And all nations shall serve him, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come. Then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. It shall come to pass that the nation and the kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation will I punish, saith Yahweh, with the sword and with the famine, with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand. Therefore hearken not ye to your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor to your dreamers, nor to your enchanters, nor to your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. They prophesy a lie unto you, to remove you far from your land, that I should drive you out, and ye should perish. But the nations that bring their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon to serve him, those will I let remain still in their own land, saith Yahweh, and they shall till it and dwell therein. Spake also to Zedekiah, king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, Bring your necks under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live. Why will ye die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by the famine, by the pestilence, as Yahweh hath spoken against the nation that will not serve the king of Babylon? Therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, Ye shall not serve the king of Babylon. For they prophesy a lie unto you. For I have not sent them, saith Yahweh, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that ye might perish, ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. Also I spake to the priests and to all this people, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, Hearken not to the words of your prophets that prophesy unto you, saying, Behold, the vessels of Yahweh's house shall now shortly be brought again from Babylon, for they prophesy a lie unto you. Hearken not unto them, serve the king of Babylon, and live. Wherefore should the city be laid waste? But if they be prophets, and if the word of Yahweh be with them, let them now make intercession to Yahweh of hosts, that the vessels which are left in the house of Yahweh, and in the house of the king of Judah, and at Jerusalem, go not to Babylon. But thus saith Yahweh of hosts concerning the pillars, and concerning the sea, and concerning the bases, and concerning the residue of the vessels that remain in the city, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon took not when he carried away captive Jeconiah the son of Jehoiakim king of Judah from Jerusalem to Babylon, and all the nobles of Judah and Jerusalem. Yea, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the vessels that remain in the house of Yahweh, and in the house of the king of Judah and of Jerusalem, they shall be carried to Babylon, and there shall they be until the day that I visit them, saith Yahweh. Then will I bring them up and restore them to this place. Jeremiah 28. And it came to pass, the same year, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 4th year, in the 5th month, that Hananiah the son of Azur the prophet, which was of Gibeon, spake unto me in the house of Yahweh, in the presence of the priests and of the people, saying, Thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylon. In 2 full years will I bring again into this place all the vessels of Yahweh's house, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon took away from this place and carried them to Babylon. And I will bring again to this place Jeconiah the son of Jehoiakim king of Judah, with all the captives of Judah that went into Babylon, saith Yahweh, for I will break the yoke of the king of Babylon. Then the prophet Jeremiah said unto the prophet Hananiah, in the presence of the priests and the presence of all the people that stood in the house of Yahweh. Even the prophet Jeremiah said, Amen. Yahweh, do so. Yahweh, perform thy words which thou hast prophesied, to bring again the vessels of Yahweh's house, and all that is carried away captive from Babylon unto this place. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all thy people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh hath truly sent him. Then Hananiah the prophet took the yoke from off the prophet Jeremiah's neck, and brake it. Hananiah spake in the presence of all the people, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, even so will I break the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon from the neck of all the nations within the space of 2 full years. And the prophet Jeremiah went his way. Then the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah the prophet, after that Hananiah the prophet had broken the yoke off the neck of the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Go and tell Hananiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, Thou hast broken the yokes of wood, but thou shalt make for them yokes of iron. But thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, I have put a yoke of iron upon the neck of all these nations, that they may serve Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and that they may serve him. I have given him the beasts of the field also. And so the prophet Jeremiah unto Hananiah the prophet, Hear now, Hananiah, Yahweh hath not sent thee, but thou makest this people trust a lie. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will cast thee from off the face of the earth. This year thou shalt die, because thou hast taught rebellion against Yahweh. So Hananiah the prophet died the same year in the 7th month. Jeremiah 29. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captives, and to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. After that, Jeconiah the king, and the queen, and the eunuchs, and the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem by the hand of Elasah the son of Shaphan, and Gemariah the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah king of Judah sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon, Build ye houses, and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there, and not diminished. And seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto Yahweh for it, for in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. But thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams which ye cause to be dreamed. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith Yahweh. For thus saith Yahweh, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you, and perform my good word toward you, causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. That's a good verse. And shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you, and ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. Another good one. I'll be found of you, saith Yahweh, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith Yahweh. And I will bring you again to the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. Because ye have said, Yahweh hath raised us up prophets in Babylon. Know that thus saith Yahweh, of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in this city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into the captivity. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, Behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and I will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten, they are so evil. I'll persecute them with swords, and with the famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment, and a hissing and a reproach among all the nations whither I have driven them, because they have not hearkened to my words, saith Yahweh, which I sent unto them by my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, but ye would not hear, saith Yahweh. Hear ye therefore the word of Yahweh, all ye of the captivity whom I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, of Ahab the son of Koliah, and of Zedekiah the son of Manasseh, which prophesy a lie unto you in my name. Behold, I will deliver them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and he shall slay them before your eyes. And of them shall be taken up a curse by all the captivity of Judah which are in Babylon, saying, Yahweh make thee like Zedekiah and like Ahab, whom the king of Babylon roasted in the fire, because they have committed villainy in Israel, and have committed adultery with their neighbors' wives, and have spoken lying words in my name. But I have not commanded them, even I know, and am witness, saith Yahweh. Thus shalt thou also speak to Shemaiah the Nehelamite, saying, Thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, saying, Because thou hast sent letters in thy name unto all the people that are at Jerusalem, and to Zephaniah the son of Maaseiah, the priest and to all the priests, saying, Yahweh hath made thee a priest instead of Jehoiada the priest, that you should be officers in the house of Yahweh for every man that is mad, and maketh himself a prophet, that thou shouldest put him in prison and in the stocks. And therefore why hast thou not reproved Jeremiah of Anathoth, which maketh himself a prophet to you? For therefore he sent unto us in Babylon, saying, This captivity is long, build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Zephaniah the priest read this letter in the ears of Jeremiah the prophet. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah, saying, Send to all of them the captivity, saying, Thus saith Yahweh concerning Shemaiah the Nephilimite, because that Shemaiah hath prophesied unto you, and sent him not, and he caused you to trust a lie. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will punish Shemaiah the Nephilimite and his seed, and he shall not have a man to dwell among this people. Neither shall he behold the good that I will do for my people, saith Yahweh, because he hath taught rebellion against Yahweh. Jeremiah 30. Word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, Thus speaketh Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh, and will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. These are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith Yahweh, We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all the faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I'll burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. They shall serve Yahweh their Elohim, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh. Neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith Yahweh, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all nations whither I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith Yahweh, Thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. All thy lovers have forgotten thee, they seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, and the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore all that they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the place shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few, and I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. And all their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them, and I will cause him to draw near, and he shall approach unto me. For who is this that engaged his heart to approach unto me, saith Yahweh? And ye shall be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Behold, the whirlwind of Yahweh goeth forth with fury, a continuing whirlwind. It shall fall with pain upon the head of the wicked. The fierce anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days he shall consider it. Jeremiah 31. At the same time, saith Yahweh, will I be the Elohim of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus saith Yahweh, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. Yahweh hath appeared of old time unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Again will I build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make merry. Thou shalt yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria, and the planters shall plant, and shall eat them as common things. For there shall be a day that the watchman upon the mount Ephraim shall cry, Arise ye, and let us go up to Zion, unto Yahweh our Elohim. For thus saith Yahweh, Sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahweh, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Wilt thou bring them forth from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, and the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together? A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. And I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of Yahweh, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him, as a shepherd doth his flock. For Yahweh hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of Yahweh, for wheat, and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their soul shall be as watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rahel weeping for her children refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. Thus saith Yahweh, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith Yahweh, and they shall come again from the land. There is hope in thine end, saith Yahweh, that thy children shall come again to their own border. I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus, Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised. As a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke, turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art Yahweh, my Elohim. Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because it did bear the reproach of my youth. Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For I spake against him. I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him. I will surely have mercy upon him, saith Yahweh. Set thee up waymarks, make thee high heaps, and set thine heart toward the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O Virgin of Israel, turn again to these thy cities. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, As yet they shall use this speech in the land of Judah and the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. Yahweh, bless thee, O habitation of justice and mountain of holiness. And there shall dwell in Judah itself and all the cities thereof together husbandmen, and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awakened, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man, and with the seed of the beast. And it shall come to pass that, like I have watched over them to pluck up, and to break down, and to throw down, and to destroy, and to afflict, so will I watch over them to build and to plant, saith Yahweh. In those days they shall say no more, The fathers have eaten the sour grape, and the children's teeth are set on edge. But every one shall die for his own iniquity. Every man that eateth the sour grape, his teeth shall be set on edge. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts, and write it in the hearts, and will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. They shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall know me. From the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sin no more. Thus saith Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the city shall be built to Yahweh from the tower of Hananeel unto the gate of the corner. All the measuring and the measure line shall yet go forth over against it upon the hill Gareb, and shall compass about Goeth, and the whole valley of the dead bodies and of the ashes, and of the fields into the brook of Kidron unto the corner of the horse gate toward the east, shall be holy unto Yahweh, and it shall not be plucked up nor thrown down any more forever. Jeremiah 32. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh in the 10th year of Zedekiah king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of Babylon's armies besieged Jerusalem, and Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison, which was in the king of Judah's house. For Zedekiah king of Judah had shut him up, saying, Wherefore dost thou prophesy, and say, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. Zedekiah king of Judah shall not escape out of the hand of the Chaldeans, but shall surely be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon, shall speak with him mouth to mouth, and his eyes shall behold his eyes. And he shall lead Zedekiah to Babylon, and there shall he be until I visit him, saith Yahweh. Though ye fight with the Chaldeans, ye shall not prosper. And Jeremiah said, The word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Behold, Hananiel the son of Shallum thine uncle shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of the redemption is thine to buy it. So Hananiel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of Yahweh, and said unto me, Buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of Yahweh. And I bought the field of Hananiel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even the 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed to this evidence, and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed him the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and the custom, and that which was opened. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch the son of Neriah, and the son of Messiah, in the sight of Hanamiel, my uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed to the book of the purchase before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. I charged Baruch before them, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, take these evidences, this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. Now when I had delivered the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch the son of Neriah, I prayed unto Yahweh, saying, Ah, Lord Elohim, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth. Be thy great power and stretched out arm, and there is nothing too hard for thee. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompensest the iniquity of the fathers to the bosom of their children after them. The great mighty Elohim, the Yahweh of hosts is his name. Great in counsel, mighty in work, for thine eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give every one according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and hast made thee a name, as at this day, and hast brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror. And hast given them this land which thou didst swear to their fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law. They have done nothing at all thou commandest them to do. Therefore thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold the mounts, they are come unto the city to take it, and the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans to fight against it, because of the sword and of the famine and of the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken has come to pass, and behold, thou seest it. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord Elohim, buy thee the fields for money, and take witnesses, for the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans. Then came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am Yahweh, the Elohim of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Therefore thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the Chaldeans, and into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he shall take it. And the Chaldeans that fight against this city shall come and set fire on this city, and burn it with the houses, upon whose roofs they have offered incense unto Baal, poured out drink offerings unto other gods, to provoke me to anger. The children of Israel and the children of Judah have only done evil before me from their youth. The children of Israel have only provoked me to anger with the work of their hands, saith Yahweh. For the city hath been to me as a provocation of mine anger, of my fury, from the day that they built it, even to this day, that I should remove it from before my face. Because all the evil of the children of Israel and of the children of Judah, which they have done to provoke me to anger, they, their kings, their princes, their priests, their prophets, and the men of Judah, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, they have turned unto me the back and not the face, though I taught them, rising up early and teaching them. Yet they have not hearkened to receive instruction, but they have set their abominations in the house which is called by my name, to defile it. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire unto Moloch, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination, to cause Judah to sin. Now therefore thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, concerning this city, whereof ye say it shall be delivered to the hand of the king of Babylon, by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whither I have driven them in mine anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath, and I will bring them again unto this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. They shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them, and for their children after them. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them to do them good, but I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do good, and I will plant them in the land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. For thus saith Yahweh, like I have brought up all this great evil upon this people, so will I bring upon them all the good that I have promised them. And the field shall be bought in this land, whereof ye say, It is desolate without man or beast, it is given to the hand of the Chaldeans. Men shall buy fields for money, and subscribe evidences, and seal them, and take witnesses in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, and in the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the valley, and the cities of the south, for I will cause their captivity to return, saith Yahweh. Jeremiah 33. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah the second time, while he was yet shut up in the court of the prison, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, the maker thereof, Yahweh that formed it to establish it. Yahweh is his name. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. For thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, concerning the houses of the city, and concerning the houses of the kings of Judah, which are thrown down by the mounts and by the sword. They come to fight with the Chaldeans, but 'tis to fill them with the dead bodies of men, whom I have slain in my anger and my fury, and for all those wickedness I have hid my face from the city. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth, and I will cause the captivity of Judah, the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as at the first, and I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. It shall be to me a name of joy, and of praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear the good that I do unto them. They shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it. Thus saith Yahweh, again there shall be heard in this place which ye say shall be desolate, without men, without beast, even the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate, without man and without inhabitant and without beast. The voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of them shall say, Praise Yahweh of hosts, for Yahweh is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And of them shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of Yahweh. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at the first, saith Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, again, this place which is desolate without man, without beast, and in all the cities thereof shall be an habitation of shepherds causing their flocks to lie down. In the cities of the mountains, in the cities of the vale, in the cities of the south, and the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, shall the flocks pass again under the hands of him that telleth them, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel, and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time I will cause the branch of righteousness to grow upon unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely, and this is the name wherewith he shall be called, Yahweh, our righteousness. For thus saith Yahweh, David shall never want a man to sit up upon the throne of the house of Israel, neither shall the priests and Levites want a man before me to offer burnt offerings, and to kindle meat offerings, and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so I will multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which Yahweh hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith Yahweh, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return, and have mercy on them. Jeremiah 34. The word which came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh, when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, all his army, and all the kingdoms of the earth of his dominion, and all the people fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities thereof, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, Go and speak to Zedekiah king of Judah, and tell him, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I will give this city into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire, and thou shalt not escape out of his hand, but shalt surely be taken and delivered into his hand, and thine eyes shall behold the eyes of the king of Babylon, and he shall speak with thee mouth to mouth, and thou shalt go to Babylon. Yet hear the word of Yahweh, O Zedekiah king of Judah. Thus saith Yahweh of thee, Thou shalt not die by the sword, but thou shalt die in peace, and with the burnings of thy fathers, the former kings which were before thee, so shall they burn odors for thee. They will lament thee, saying, Ah, Lord, where I pronounce the words, saith Yahweh. Then Jeremiah the prophet spake all these words unto Zedekiah king of Judah in Jerusalem, when the king of Babylon's armies fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities of Judah that were left, against Lachish and against Azekah, for these defenced cities remained of cities of Judah. This is the word that came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh. After that the king Zedekiah had made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem, to proclaim liberty unto them, that every man should let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being a Hebrew or Hebrewess, go free, that none should serve himself of them, to wit, of a Jew his brother. Now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that everyone should let his manservant and everyone his maidservant go free, that none should serve themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and let them go. But afterward they turned and caused those servants and the handmaids, whom they had let go free, to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids. Therefore the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah from Yahweh, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, At the end of 7 years let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew, which had been sold unto thee. When he hath served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And ye were now turned and had done right in my sight, in proclaiming liberty every man to his neighbor. And ye had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant and every man his handmaid, whom ye had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I will proclaim a liberty for you, saith Yahweh. To the sword, and to the pestilence, and to the famine, and I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they had made before me, when they cut the calf in twain, and passed between the parts thereof. The princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs, the priests, and the people of the land, which passed between the parts of the calf. I will even give them to the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life. And their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah the king of Judah and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and shall take it, and burn it with a fire, and I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without an inhabitant. Jeremiah 35. The word which came unto Jeremiah from Yahweh in the days of Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, Go into the house of the Rechabites, and speak unto them, and bring them into the house of Yahweh, into one of the chambers, and give them wine to drink. Then I took Jazaniah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Hasbaniah, and his brethren, and all his sons, in the whole house of the Rechabites, and I brought them into the house of Yahweh, and into the chamber of the sons of Hanan, the son of Igdaliah, a man of Elohim, which was by the chamber of the princes, which was above the chamber of Manasseh, the son of Shallum, the keeper of the door. And I set before the sons of the house of the Rechabites pots full of wine and cups, and I said unto them, Drink ye wine. But they said, We will drink no wine, for Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, Ye shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons forever. Neither shall ye build house, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyard, nor have any, but all your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land where ye be strangers. Thus have we obeyed the voice of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, and all that he hath charged us to drink no wine all our days, we, our wives, our sons, nor our daughters, nor to build houses for us to dwell in, neither have we vineyard, nor field, nor seed, but we have dwelt in tents, and have obeyed, and done according to all that Jonadab our father commanded us. But it came to pass when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up into the land, that we said, Come, let us go to Jerusalem for the fear of the army of the Chaldeans, and for fear of the army of the Syrians. So we dwelt at Jerusalem. And came the word of Yahweh unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Go and tell the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, Will ye not receive instruction to hearken to my words, saith Yahweh? The words of Jonadab the son of Rechab, that he commanded his sons not to drink wine, are performed, for unto this day they drink none, but obey their father's commandment. Notwithstanding I have spoken unto you, rising up early and speaking, that ye hearken not unto me. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return ye now every man from his evil way, and amend your doings, and go not after other gods to serve them, and ye shall dwell in your land which I have given to you and to your fathers. But ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me, because the sons of Jonadab the son of Rechab have performed the commandment of their father, which he commanded them, but this people hath not hearkened unto me. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Behold, I will bring upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem all the evil that I have pronounced against them, because I have spoken unto them, but they have not heard, and I have called unto them, but they have not answered. Jeremiah said unto the house of the Rechabites, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, because ye have obeyed the commandment of Jonadab your father, and kept all his precepts, and done according unto all that he hath commanded you. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, Jonadab the son of Rechab shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Okay, well, we're getting closer and closer to the whole invasion and Babylonians, Chaldeans. But you know, it's interesting is seeing how many chances God has given them to repent of their ways, and they still won't. Even with a huge army at their doorstep, they still won't turn from their evil ways. It's just, you know, looking back on it now, from our perspective, it's mind-boggling how they just kept sinning and sinning and sinning up until the very last minute that they were either killed or taken away to Babylon. But it shows that God gives us plenty of chances and is full of mercy. But he's also full of wrath and anger. And we should fear him, because he's the only one that could hurt our bodies and our souls. No one else. So that's why we shouldn't fear man. We shouldn't fear demons or Satan, because they can't touch our souls. Only God can. That's why we have nothing to fear. If we have the fear of God, and if we obey him and serve him, trust in the blood of Christ, of course. That's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great evening, morning, noon, wherever you're at. And as always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care, God bless, remember to put God first in everything you do, have faith in him, have trust in him, and keep waiting upon him. Sorry. We'll see you tomorrow, God willingly, with, well, there's a few more days of Jeremiah left, so more Jeremiah tomorrow. Thanks again, see you later.